Here, in the quiet corners of our homes, lives a creature of exquisite grace and profound mystery, an animal that has walked alongside humanity for millennia, yet continues to captivate us with its enigmatic charm. The domestic cat. It shares our lives and our hearts, a silent observer and a cherished companion. But just how well do we truly know these familiar yet elusive beings? What secrets lie behind those watchful, intelligent eyes? Welcome, fellow cat lovers. I invite you to settle in, perhaps with your own feline friend purring contentedly nearby. Together, we shall uncover 10 truly delightful and mind-blowing facts about cats and kittens. Secrets you probably never knew. The sound is unmistakable. It might be a plaintive cry from the kitchen signaling an empty food bowl, or a gentle, questioning chirp at the bedroom door in the early morning light. It is the meow, the signature vocalization of the domestic cat, a complex and personal language developed over thousands of years of companionship with humanity. Each cat even develops its own unique repertoire of meows, a secret dialect understood only by its chosen family. But have you ever wondered why they talk to us this way? The answer lies in their wild ancestry. Adult wild cats, like the majestic Scottish wildcat, very rarely meow to one another. Their communication is a symphony of hisses, growls, and subtle body language, reserved for territory disputes or mating rituals. The meow, for them, is almost exclusively the sound of a vulnerable kitten calling for its mother's attention and care. And that's the key. Our domestic cats have cleverly retained this juvenile behavior into adulthood. They see us as their giant, slightly clumsy surrogate mothers. In a remarkable feat of adaptation, they've repurposed their kitten call, learning that a well-placed meow is the most effective way to communicate their needs directly, and almost exclusively, with us. Now, for any of us who have had the distinct privilege of raising a litter of kittens, there is another universal and enchanting sight that occurs around 7 to 10 days after birth. As their tiny sealed eyelids part for the very first time, they reveal two perfect, luminous orbs of the most startling blue. It's a moment of pure magic, the world being seen for the first time through these sapphire windows. Regardless of their breed, their parentage, or the rich tapestry of coat colors they will one day possess, every single kitten is born with blue eyes. From the fluffiest Persian to the sleekest stray, they all share this common, beautiful beginning. But this initial blue color is, in a way, a beautiful illusion. It is not caused by blue pigment. In fact, that pigment doesn't exist in the feline eye. Instead, it is a structural color, a trick of the light. At birth, a kitten's iris has not yet produced any melanin, the pigment that will determine its final eye color. When light enters the translucent tissue, the fibrous structures within the iris scatter the light, and because blue light has a shorter wavelength, it scatters most effectively, making the eyes appear blue, much like the sky. As the kitten matures, usually between 4 and 8 weeks, melanin production begins. This pigment gradually fills the iris, masking the structural blue and revealing their true, permanent eye color, be it a brilliant green, a deep gold, or a warm copper. Some breeds, however, like the Siamese, carry a gene that inhibits this pigment development, allowing them to keep those baby blues for life. Beyond the familiar meow lies a world of extraordinary vocal complexity. It's a common misconception that cats are limited to a few sounds. In truth, they can produce over 100 distinct vocalizations. The classic meow is particularly interesting. Adult cats rarely meow at each other, having perfected it as kittens to get their mother's attention, a tool they now use to communicate with us. For their own kind, they use a more direct language of growls and hisses to signal fear or territorial warnings. The purr, perhaps the most iconic feline sound, is a deep thrum that speaks of comfort. But this soothing vibration is more complex. Cats also purr when frightened or injured. Scientists found that a cat's purr vibrates between 25 and 150 hertz, a frequency range that can promote healing in bones and tissues. This has led to a fascinating theory. The purr may be a low-energy way for a cat to self-soothe and even heal itself. Then there are the more intricate, bird-like vocalizations. The chirp is an expression of predatory excitement, often heard when a cat spots prey. The trill, a high-pitched rolling sound, is a friendly greeting used by a mother cat to call her kittens. It's their way of saying, "Hello, follow me." Equally complex is their silent navigation system. The whiskers, or vibrissae, are sophisticated sensory instruments. Rooted 3 times deeper than normal fur, Each whisker is connected to a rich network of nerves, making its tip exquisitely sensitive. And they aren't just on the muzzle. Cats also have shorter whiskers above their eyes, on their chin, and on the back of their front legs, the carpal whiskers, which aid in hunting. As a cat moves, its whiskers detect the slightest changes in airflow. This allows them to navigate flawlessly in the dark, sensing obstacles without touching them and building a 3D map of their surroundings. Their position is also a clear mood indicator, pushed forward in curiosity and flattened back when feeling threatened. This sensory superpower has a very practical application. Before squeezing through an opening, a cat will test the space. Their whiskers are roughly as wide as their body, acting as a built-in ruler. If the whiskers pass without bending, the cat knows its body will follow. This is why a cat's whiskers should never be trimmed. It would leave them disoriented and stressed. The life of a domestic cat may seem to be one of luxurious and excessive slumber. To observe them is to witness a masterclass in relaxation, a creature capable of dozing for up to 16 hours a day. This extended period of rest is not a sign of laziness, but a deeply ingrained survival strategy, a legacy from their wild ancestors. Cats are crepuscular, meaning they are most active during the twilight hours of dawn and dusk, the prime time for hunting. The long hours of sleep are dedicated to conserving energy for these crucial moments. Much of this time is a light doze, a state of low-level alertness they can be roused from in an instant, ready to spring into action. But they also experience deep REM sleep. If you've ever seen your cat's whiskers twitch or paws paddle in their sleep, they are likely dreaming, perhaps of chasing the ultimate phantom mouse. When kittens are born, they huddle together for warmth and security in what is charmingly known as a kindle. The term evokes their being, a small, flickering flame of life. But this isn't the only collective noun for our feline friends. A group of adult cats is a clouder, and a group of unfamiliar cats might be called a glaring, a term that captures that intense, unblinking stare they can give. Each name paints a different picture of their social lives. The cat's tongue is a masterpiece of biological engineering, covered in hundreds of tiny, backward-facing spines called papillae, made of keratin. These spines are a multi-purpose tool. When a cat grooms, the papillae act like a comb, detangling fur. When they drink, these spines help pull water into their mouth. For their wilder cousins, these same spines are sharp enough to scrape meat from bones. This incredible design has even inspired scientists to create new technologies, from more efficient hairbrushes to soft robotics, for gripping delicate objects. Just like humans, cats can be right or left-pawed. Studies have shown a fascinating link between paw preference and gender. Male cats show a statistically significant tendency to be left-pawed, while females are more likely to favor their right. This isn't just a cute quirk, it reflects how their brains are organized. You can discover your own cat's preference with a simple test. Try placing a tasty treat inside a narrow jar and see which paw they consistently use to scoop it out. It's a fun glimpse into your cat's unique wiring. Ever wonder why your cat ignores sweet treats? The domestic cat is blind to sweetness. Through evolution, cats lost the gene for the sweet taste receptor. As obligate carnivores whose diet must be meat, detecting sugars became redundant. Instead, their sense of taste is highly attuned to their natural diet. They can detect sour, bitter, salty, and umami, the savory taste of meat. They are even uniquely sensitive to a compound called ATP, which signals that meat is fresh and nutrient-rich. Beyond physical traits, cats possess a rich and subtle language. The most iconic is the purr. While we associate it with contentment, cats also purr when stressed or in pain, as a self-soothing mechanism. The frequency of a cat's purr, between 25 and 150 Hz, is in a range that can promote bone density and healing. And the meow? Adult cats rarely meow at each other. It's a language developed almost exclusively to interact with humans. Perhaps the most profound communication is the silent one, the slow blink. When a cat looks at you and slowly closes and opens its eyes, it's a sign of trust and affection. A cat kiss. Try offering a slow blink back. Our connection with cats stretches back much further than ancient Egypt. In a Neolithic village on Cyprus, archaeologists unearthed a grave that changed our understanding of this bond. Buried 9,500 years ago was a human, and just 40 centimeters away in its own grave lay the skeleton of a cat. This discovery predates Egyptian cat worship by 4,000 years. It suggests our partnership began not with worship, but with quiet mutual companionship. It was likely a symbiotic relationship. Cats hunted rodents near human grain stores, and in return, humans offered them protection and safety, laying the foundation for the friendship we cherish today. So as we part ways, perhaps look at the cat in your life with new eyes. See the master navigator in its whiskers, the potent hunter in its sleepy gaze, the sophisticated engineer in its tongue, the ancient friend in its gentle presence, and the complex communicator in its purrs and slow blinks. Thanks for joining us on this cozy journey through the curious world of cats and kittens. Give your furry friend an extra cuddle tonight, and don't forget to subscribe for more heartwarming animal stories. Until next time, farewell.